Taxes, insurance, and escrow accounts. Let's talk about them. Hey guys, welcome to video 14. Today we're going to be talking about escrow accounts. We're going to talk about what they are, how they function, and why people like them and why people don't like them. My goal is not to get into the nitty-gritty, although there's going to be a little bit of that just to show you how they function. I'm going to give you the information, let you make that decision based on what I have to say and what others in your community have to say, but hopefully you'll learn something, so let's jump right in. Okay, so what exactly is an escrow account? Well, escrow in the dictionary is defined by putting into custody or trust. Basically, you're putting something that's yours in the custody or trust of someone else. What you're doing basically is you're putting your yearly taxes and yearly insurance premium in the custody or in the trust of someone else, mainly the bank that's servicing your loan. So every month when you make your payment, there's four parts to your payment: your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, okay? And every month that taxes and insurance piece is put into an account. And every year in December when taxes are due, and then whenever your insurance premium is due throughout the year, the bank that's servicing your mortgage pays that for you. Okay, now we know what an escrow account is. Let's talk a little bit about how it functions. For this example, I'm gonna assume that our taxes are due in December, which most always that's when they're due, but I'm also going to assume that our insurance is due in June. All right, so when your insurance comes due in June, the insurance company is going to send a bill to the servicer of your mortgage. That servicer is going to look in your escrow account, make sure that the funds are there, and then he's going to pay that premium for you. Similarly, when the tax bills come out, the taxing entity is going to send that bill to the servicer of your mortgage, and they're going to pay that bill for you. Now, Ryan, how do they know how much to put in every month so that they'll have enough funds in there when they get the bill? When you originate your loan, your PITI, your monthly payment, those four pieces are set. There's a principal and interest payment, and those will not change throughout the life of the loan. There is a taxes and insurance payment piece. Those can change because taxes change, they go up and down, and insurance premiums change, they can go up and down. When those amounts go up and down, your escrow has to account for those changes, because now it was paying $5,000 for taxes, but the next year it's going to be $5,500 for taxes. And so it's got to make up for the fact that it needs to collect an extra $500 throughout this next year because your taxes have gone up. And what happens there is what's called an escrow analysis. And what will happen is that based on the estimates of your taxes and your insurance premiums, your escrow account will send you a letter, and then it'll say, we've done an analysis on your escrow account and it looks like you're going to be short. And it gives you two options. The two options are, A, you can make an initial deposit right now of X dollars just so that it's a one-time deal. You make that deposit and you keep your monthly payment the same. Or B, you cannot make any monthly deposit. You cannot make any one-time deposit, and we'll just raise your monthly payment up $60 or whatever the number is to get that escrow payment to where it needs to be by the end of the year because of your rising insurance and taxes. All right, so that leads me directly into why people do not like escrow accounts for that exact reason. They don't like the fact that it doesn't stay the same. They want their mortgage payment to be the same, and they want it to know that it's going to be the same from there on. They don't like the fact that it can fluctuate. Now, it doesn't have to fluctuate. If you decide, well, every time I get an escrow analysis letter, I'm going to make that initial deposit, and then it won't change. But you can see how that if you start racking up your monthly payment up and up and up and up and up every time you get an escrow analysis going, that monthly payment could get out of hand quickly. Another reason why people don't really like escrow accounts very much is because they figure they can use that big lump sum of money to make more money throughout the year. So in other words, if they were to invest that money instead of just keeping it in an account that doesn't make them anything, which is what your escrow account is, there's no interest on that, they figure that they can take that lump sum of money that they would be putting into the escrow account and put it into a CD or a mutual fund or some other investment and make money on that money throughout the year. All right, let's talk about reasons why people like escrow accounts. Well, rates are normally, most of the time, better on escrowed loans than non-escrowed loans, because the bank gets to control whether or not you pay your taxes or insurance. Then they give you, that's a little less risky, and so they charge you less of a rate. Just a quick side note, tax liens always take precedent over mortgage liens, first lien mortgage liens from the bank, and so they want to make sure that no tax liens get put in place, because if they do and you stop paying your bills and you also haven't been paying your taxes, Uncle Sam gets paid first. All right, another reason why people like escrow accounts is because they get to basically eat that elephant one bite at a time. They get to knock down this large sum of money that they're going to be due at the end of the year or in the middle of the year or whenever that is. They get to knock it down a little bit at a time, and they like the aspect of being able to plan that. All right, lastly, and I think the biggest reason why people like escrow accounts is because they don't have to think about it. They don't have to think about taxes and insurance getting paid. They don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to get paid. Someone else is doing that for them. Someone else is taking that responsibility away from them, and they just like the aspect of being able to make sure that that's done and done right, and they don't have to worry about it. All right, guys, that about does it for the escrow video. Escrowing your loan is a personal preference. One thing that I will advise is normally I tell my first-time home buyers, hey, let's escrow this first one. I don't recommend that they don't escrow just for the fact of getting used to it, wetting your feet in home ownership. There's lots of things to know and remember, and taking that taxes and insurance bill off the plate there at the end of the year when holidays are already yanking at your pocketbook is just something that I recommend for first-time home buyers. After that, your second, third, fourth home, however many you have, I think that's a personal preference, and I know plenty of people who do it both ways and both are successful. So I hope this video is informative for you. Thanks again so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. That's not true.